if I don't have systems in place, I'm lost. I'll sit down, I'll check my Facebook. I'm a master poker tournament winner. So I will like play poker on my phone. You have to have a system so that when you sit down, you can push play and it just goes, And so I'd want to have a software that I could actually, sit down, get on Vulcan7, call my expires, call these people, know the specific market that I'm trying to call in so that I can actually speak with intelligence.
It's that time. Welcome to Roadmap. How to take 3 listings a week until you're ready for more. Each week we interview a great agent who's consistently taking several listings each month, and we have an exciting guest today. We encourage you to take notes and apply as much of their knowledge as quickly as you can, and then use the copycat principle. Let me introduce my co-host from Greater Cincinnati, actually in the little town of Camp Dennison, Ohio, where the horses run free, Sarah Close. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Ron. Thanks for having me today. Really appreciate it.
Glad you're here. Sarah has a large Keller Williams operation, several offices throughout Cincinnati, Dayton, Ohio, and serves Northern Kentucky, and runs a big real estate team. You have about 550, 600 agents, something like that. And
right about 550 agents, yeah.
550, and you run a team that lists property, calls expires for sale by owners and everything else. What's the goal for sales this year?
Yeah, have a partner helping me with that. But yeah, we're very fortunate. We get to work with a lot of great people. So
what's the goal for sales this year? For the team?
For the team, the goal is 250.
250. Awesome. Well, let me introduce our guest today from the Orlando, Florida area, my favorite place in February. Orlando, Florida, Mr. Mighty Mike Reid.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be in the presence of royalty.
Great to meet you, Mike. What does your active prospecting look like today? Obviously, it's probably evolved over time, but talk to us a little bit about when you're thinking about who gets your time and your allotted prospecting time. What's the anatomy of that going to look like for you?
So working out every morning, getting a sweat in, getting the cold shower in, sitting down to do the prospecting is like, it's a must. And I'll tell you the times I haven't done it, and it's different for everybody, but for me and for most of the people that I've learned from, that's how it is you need to like set your body, your mind. You got to be like working hard on yourself so that you're in the right mindset. So I love expireds too, because it's a numbers game. Like if you call, so expireds is like, most of them are upset because they just don't have, like, just understanding the mindset for a second. If someone's taking notes, like just write 3 lines: expired, okay, and then FSBO, and then absentee. And those are the 3 things. Like there's a lot of other ways to go about it, but those 3. If you want a listing today, an expired listing, call as many as you can, and it's like hitting the jackpot. It's like hitting the lottery. You're going to call one that's going to say, yeah, come out and list it. I was going to call and try to find another person, but most of them, just so you know, most of them are going to say, stop calling me. I don't ever want to hear from you. And so you're just really just digging for gold on those expireds, because they already trust agents in general that they have the professional aptitude to get it sold better than they can.
Right. It is a gold mine, I know.
Yeah. And then for sale by owners, Brandon, the king at this, I don't know. I mean, Brandon, he just, the idea of building these relationships, reaching out to folks, and basically just saying, building that relationship, knowing that it's like a 7-week process, 8-week process. But if you're the last person standing, following up, and that's my follow-up process right now with any for sale by owners when I'm teaching my new folks, it's Monday and Friday. It's Monday is like, hey, doing this week here, we got a few new listings in your area, or maybe I got a few appointments in your area. I'd like to know if I could come by and just, serve them in some way, put a for sale by owner sign in their yard, go buy them one or whatever, like build a relationship with them so that when 7 weeks comes, you're the only one still calling, and basically you're their friend already.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that works after a while, because everybody else drops off? I mean, talk about some of the easiest money in the world to make. And what's an average commission for you, Mighty Mike?
Yeah, so in Orlando, I want to say it's anywhere between 10 and 15 Yeah. In the beginning,
$14,000. When you look at what you've done, you've called them 6 or 7 times, and you make that. And obviously, you run this like a business because you're very systematic, not only with your database, but with the systematic approach for sale owners and expireds and everything else. So, would it be fair to say the organization, the structure that you are applying is the big key to this? Because a lot of people in our industry fly by the seat of their pants. They go, well, I'm done with my buyer from Chicago. Maybe I'll spend a couple of days calling expireds, and they just wing it. And you're running this like a very organized, well-oiled machine.
So, Rick, I love that you said that, because that's exactly the goal. But I will say that, I will say that
even you get pulled off.
I will say, like, here I am in New Mexico, like flipping a house,
there you go,
replacing the floors in this house, and it's insane. So,
but Mike, you list a bunch of property, then you go to New Mexico, you come back, and you've sold 3 or 4 too, right?
Yeah,
try that with a buyer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, listings is definitely the way. We didn't talk a lot about it, but that should be a given.
Mike, let me ask you, if you were starting in real estate today and you were going to have your first day and your first month and then your first quarter on the job, what would be the 3 things that you would want to know as a brand new agent today, knowing what you know now?
Wow, 3 things. So today, let's start with today. So what I would want to know today is, what are the tools that I can use? Right, like what am I doing? Like, obviously, let's assume I already know how to do well in real estate. So I would want to know my market. So I'd want to know right away, like, what area of the city that I'm in are people buying and homes flying off the shelf. If I get a listing in that community, is the home going to sell quick? Now, in a lot of communities, for a while there, it was just like every community, but there's listings now that are stale. There's listings that are sitting around, even though they're priced decent in certain areas, because the market is shifting a little bit. There's still a crazy scarcity still of homes. There's a lack of homes, but in some areas there's not. So it's very pocket, especially in Orlando, because we have a big Airbnb community and stuff like that. So so I would want to know who I'm calling, and I would want to know the software. I would definitely, I love Vulcan7. I love being able to just basically sit down and make it automated. So that's what I would do right now. Like, if I didn't have, that's one thing I'll tell you guys. If I don't have systems in place, I'm lost. I'll sit down, I'll check my Facebook. I'm a master poker tournament winner. So I will play poker on my phone. You have to have a system so that when you sit down, you can push play and it just goes, And so I'd want to have a software that I could actually, sit down, get on Vulcan7, call my expires, call these people, know the specific market that I'm trying to call in, so that I can actually speak with intelligence. I would say doing consistently, that is one of the things that I've struggled with, but I've learned how to stay consistent in my own way. So some people would say if they don't call Monday through Friday, then they're done. If they don't call every single day, they're done. For me, what I do is I say, hey, I need to earn X amount of dollars. How many sales do I need to do to earn that, so that I can take the rest of the time off?
Well, this has been awesome. This is powerful. This is a lot of good information that's going to help a lot of people that are trying to get some traction. And it's very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple, and it pays better than anything else you can do.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if Mike, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, so I actually wrote a book that just came out, and it's really the best way. I have a website. It's called mightyfreebook.com. If you go to mightyfreebook.com, you get a free book, and I'll immediately reach out to you. And you'll get every week you'll get another well thought out video from me, where I'm teaching real estate principles on my show. And mightymikereid.com is kind of where I have all of my different things, different companies, different services and things that I offer. But like I was saying before, Rin, I really just want to emphasize how, I've only been doing this for a year and a half. I've already had a business mindset, which put me ahead, I think. But if you understand that, what is the equity that you're going to get from the amount of time that you're putting into this, you can really just scale up in a way that you can't do in any other business.
It is. this is if people will follow a formula, they need to align with somebody that knows the formula and then follow that formula verbatim. You can make more money than you can being a brain surgeon in a lot less time. Would be fair to say, in order to have money and the time to enjoy it, you have to list property and refer out or have somebody else take care of the buyers. Is that a fair statement?
It really is. And the other thing too is like there's so many other services that I've seen that agents try to go after the shiny object syndrome. And I'm like, I try to let them know, like, you can get a listing, talk to the seller once and automate the rest of it, have other people involved and things like that, and still do a great job.
And it's amazing how many don't do that. They will just kill themselves on the buy side until they finally leave the business. I see that URA ring, by the way.
Oh yeah, you like that? I love this thing, man. It tells me,
everything about your life. It tells you what your income is going to be next year. URA, OURA. They're pretty wild.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you guys are definitely doing some really cool things there at Vulcan7, and I know this might sound like a sales pitch, but it's really not. Like if anyone watches my show, you can see that I review softwares about once a week. I review a different software for real estate investing, real estate in general, and just business things that for taxes, all kinds of stuff. And Vulcan7 has been just like, you guys really figured it out, not just with pulling the leads and putting them in the system, but also with being able to hit dial. And like I said, just
or just say, I only want absentee. I only want the non-owner occupied. I want, I want to talk to everybody that does not live in their house. So yes, well, this helps a lot of people. There are a lot of people watching that want to catch the stride. And what's interesting is, because of this show, a lot of people they'll watch 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people, and then they copy that, and then they are one of them. They're all of a sudden making $400,000 a year, $700,000 a year, $1.2 million a year in income, commissions paid.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. And then they can be in New Mexico like you.
Yeah, flipping an old house. Yeah.
Appreciate everybody being here. This has been wonderful, Mighty Mike. And thank you, Sarah, for being here as always. And Mike,
thanks for having me.
Love to have you back.
Mike, it was a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
All right, guys.
9 months from now, somewhere.
Stay mighty.
All right. See you guys.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.